Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day this is for you. It is actually afternoon for me, and it's a Thursday. I had an appointment this morning. Yes, a little physical, those things they call the pap test. So, there we go. Got that taken care of. Must take care of our physical health too. Right. Body's getting older, going through changes. How's that goes? I had this video that came up that I did for myself. I might actually publish it on here. That's how these videos started for me. Because it was hard. I used to do my own daily cards to things to keep in mind and to look out for during the day. And saw how those things would come up, and wow, it helped me to learn a lot of lessons. But also, it got hard for me to write them out. So I started doing videos of myself and recording myself, doing these readings for myself. And then I got that idea, maybe I'll upload it to the YouTube. So then when I first started doing these videos, I was doing two. I would record myself for myself, and then record another one to share with the YouTube. That came too much, so now it's all in one. It's for myself and for you, all at the same time, because we're all in this together. So, but there was one that came up in my memories, so I delete all the ones I upload to the YouTube. But so there was still one that was from about this time last year, and it reminded me of the MOONLODGE spread. I used to do the MOONLODGE spread, inward tree for centering. So it's been a long time since we've done that. So I'll give you the description. This is from the Medicine Cards by Jamie Sam. So these are the ones I usually use, right? That's the blue ones. These orange ones are the Soul Path cards. But these are and look at the two that I picked up there. Introspection and Rebirth. I use them together. But for this book, this is the guidebook for these guys. There's a white book for the Sacred Path, and I also got a Sacred Path workbook. So, got to know these cards pretty good. Anyway, but the MOONLODGE spread, or the inward tree for centering, because you could use these spreads with any decks, anything. It's just, marking those positions for the brain. Brain likes the sections, compartmentalize and all that stuff. Anyways. So the MOONLODGE spread, or inward tree for centering. There are more roots than branches, the old wise ones said. This expression notes the importance of knowing what is beneath the surface. The MOONLODGE spread is a mirror of your own personal unconscious. The world knows you outwardly, but only you can know the forces moving deep within yourself. The MOONLODGE spread is therefore a tool to help you uncover that which is hidden. By using this spread, it is possible to rip away the veil of lies and self-deceptions you have been using to thwart your own growth. Right? It is possible to rip away the veils of lies and self-deception you have been using to thwart your growth. The MOONLODGE spread is laid out in exactly the same manner as the previous medicine wheel spread. So we'll have the east, the south, the west, and the north, but then we'll also have that central card. And I'll tell you the positions as if we pick them. Okay. So let's just get BB's line up. We'll do that. Calling all of our directions. Calling, we're gonna find that the center. Be different for everyone else. We're noticing our own needs, so that we don't project those on the others, and it might not be what they need. Whatever that is, I'm using my voice Okay. Woo-hoo. Boo, 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 boo. Aha, there we go. We're blending. We're blending. It's an integration. That's what we're doing. Finding that center within. In the soul. Looking for our own little gem. Right, what is that? What is your gem inside? Your little jewel, huh? What is that for you? Calling in all of our energies from the east, path of illumination and clarity, place of fire, place of man. All the energies from the south, the emotions, the waters, the childhood, the innocence. And all the energies from the west, the earth, the physical, the woman, place of introspection. And all of our energies from the north, the air, the mental, the wisdom years. South from our childhood, right where we are born in through the eastern gate, that illumination and clarity. We get that rebirth with, a fresh start. Here we are, right? Clear minds, clear hearts, pure little untainted souls here. And then what happens as we get up to the north? I don't know. We got to clear that stuff off. We've had lots of viewpoints and opinions pushed on us on what it means to be human, what we need to do, fall in line, la la la, divide. What is that? Okay, once we get up into those wisdom years, we see. But this is about finding our center within, integrating everything we've learned, not denying any parts of ourselves, integrating it all fully, holy, and true. Right? All those viewpoints and shedding off all those that aren't you. Right? We get down to that true self. That's what we're going for. Rebirth in the east, right? East to west is the blue road of spirit. That's something we choose. Free will beings. Do we want to be reborn? Into this new way of being and living? That may be the more peaceful for you, with that internal peace, or you want to continue to struggle? What is that for you? Right? Because the struggle and all this fighting now is in a diversion. Everything that goes on outside is diverting us from looking inside. We must integrate inside. That's how we discover who we truly are. Looking at everything that we've gone through, right? This is the temperance card in the traditional deck, the rainbow's blend. Accepting all of our colors and all the colors out there and not making one more important than the other. What is that? Because it's all diversions. To divide is diversions. So we begin within. To bring it all together again. We can have a peace on the earth. Yeah, above, below, and within. And then Wolf just popped out here. We're going to stick Wolf over here too, because our life is our greatest teacher. So we're looking at that. We're integrating the life we've had. What is that? Is that a 14 on that? That's the number 14. Can you see? Have a closer look at that temperance card. It's a 14 on that. The teacher is 15. 5, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate ourselves? Ourselves and our souls. Ourselves, the earth, and our souls. Our souls, the earth, and ourselves. I don't know. What's up for you? We're gonna split these over here to create the circle. Well, we're splitting by the east. This rebirth, being reborn to who we are, fully, holy, and true, right? If we didn't get all those things that we needed as a young one, we are 100% responsible for that now as the adults that we have grown into. Well, the bodies are. Is our mind still there? We're going in that soul retrieval, all those little parts that we rejected. It's all part of us. We cannot be whole unless we bring those pieces back. And if we're denying any part of ourselves, we're going to deny it outside of us too. So let's look at that. We start in the east. Thank you for helping us with this Moon Lodge spread. Jesus got all my relations, whatever that is for you. Right, the rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So the East card in the Moon Lodge is the card known as the Whirling Spirit card. It is the key to unlocking your spiritual nature and clearly seeing your spiritual talents and abilities. East card. Well, it's coming kind of from the southeast. It is for that. Our animal supporting that. Yes, the south in the innocence. How? Look at that. From the east. Here we are. Ow. Jump, Jupiters. Woohoo, baby. Our life is that teacher. That's where we get that illumination and clarity. We look. Have that look within. Look back. What have we gone through? What are the lessons we've learned? What are we still carrying on? Are we hanging on to some lessons? Are we hanging on to something that we've learned as much as we can from it and to continue? Like, we need to graduate out of kindergarten. What if we just all stayed in kindergarten? No, I like this grade. I don't want to move on. So, let's that illumination and clarity, that whirling spirit is the key to unlocking your spiritual nature and to clearly seeing your spiritual talents and abilities. It's letting go. What's that animal in there? That prayer for abundance to see that peace is already ours. It's already within us. The spirit is already with us. That it's never left us. We are not separate. Maybe it starts there. That we all belong here. And no matter what our relationships growing up with parents or whatever, we all have these same parents, the earth and the sky, right? There's buffaloes, very earthy, grounded, right? Spirit is up in the sky. It takes both. We are both, right? So that's the key, unlocking your spiritual talents and abilities. It's that prayer for that abundance, and not the money, but for that clarity, for that illumination of what is my purpose here. When we keep praying that. What is my purpose? What did you make me for? Right? Everyone was made for a purpose. Every ant is designed specifically for their jobs. What were you designed to do? And look at your life. It's your life teaching you. You integrate all of that. That will lead you down that path meant for you. There's my little unicorn fell off at her. My little Pegasus unicorn. So that's the key, looking deep in, praying for that and going quiet and connecting with spirit. That's how we unlock, to see and unlock the talents and abilities that we have that are within us. Because your talents and abilities, the gift that you have to share isn't in anybody else. But somebody else might have something similar and you go, that's what I meant to do. Because there's so many actors, musicians, all of that, right? Yeah. Well, we got a big earth. We need it all. Look at that. What is it? What is calling to you? Let's get quiet and find that out. The South. This card is a new growth or seed card. Look to this card for possible beginnings in either personal relationships or how you relate to the environment. In the Moon Lodge spread, this card may reveal your true feelings about someone or something. It is the card which will show you that your hidden emotions towards a person or a thing. What is that? Towards yourself. We're looking within. So your true feelings for yourselves, about your gifts. This is a celebration time. It's a sharing. We want to share it all. This is a new beginnings, that quickening, the powwows, the celebrations. They come together to share the best. But that's how it gets exciting. When we start breaking out of the shell, we want to share. There's some things when we have that new supple skin, we need to keep it to ourselves. We're integrating, right? And we're sharing from our stories. We're not sharing for sympathy or anything like that. When we get to that point, we can see new growth or seed. Look to this card for possible beginnings in either personal relationships or in how you relate to the environment. So how do you do that? Do you see that as we all sharing this? Do you try to separate? Do you bring that together? Do you see past the deceptions where maybe you thought doing something might bring us together or right? You thought, oh man, being fair means everybody has to have the same. But that's not everybody has the same abilities, same capabilities, and all that stuff, right? So we deceive ourselves if we think fair is the same for everybody, right? We're not all the same. We all come from the same source, live on the same earth, but we are still unique in our beings. Like even on our bodies, not one fingerprint is the same. So there are these unique things about us, our frequencies, their energies, right? Because all parts of the body is needed for it to function to its optimum performance, whatever that is. Whatever that is for you. So look at that. What have you been sharing? Where are the cycles that this is? And how do you feel about that? What's your true feelings? Are you deceiving yourself? Because you don't think you have a gift, so we keep quiet, we play it small? Ooh. What is that? Look at that. What are you sharing out there? What is that true feelings about that? Are you afraid? Do you think you have nothing there? So we deceive ourselves. We can only be as honest with others as we are with ourselves. Right. We can only be as honest with others as we are with ourselves. So if we're not telling ourselves the truth, are we going to be telling the truth to anybody else? And just because we believe it does not make it true. What is it that you believe about yourself? What's your true feelings about you and your gifts and how, what it means to the world? Wow, what? West is the dream within the dream. This card may lead you to your real purpose in life, so study it carefully. Excuse me. Is your dream or vision a product of your superficial ego? Or are you truly being introspective and realizing the goals which your higher self is suggesting? It is here in the West that you impregnate yourself with your real life mission. What is that? Pay attention to what comes up for you, because we're all looking at these same cards, but these lessons might show up differently in our lives. Might not be all the same way that we learned those lessons. So what is it for you, right? The hour of power, the ritual of joy. I keep reaching over to candles. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Hour of power, the ritual of joy. The dream within the dream. We want to connect, right? And see that. We want that peace on earth, the joy. And celebrate with all. Sharing and quickening. Are we deceitful? We only want to share with these ones. And do we think we're not repeating that same thing or doing the same things or being the same ones that fell for all those other ones? Crowd mentality. Do we just join with the asses? The masses. What is that for you? This is the dream within the dream. Is your dream a vision of your product or superficial vision? Blah, 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 blah. Magic are you creating? You think you got to do it magically? We have to create a spell for this to work, and is that coming from genuine, right? Do we override people's free will? I'm going to do a love spell because that's the one I want, but we're not really thinking, is that the one I need? Oh, I really want this, but do I really need that, right? There's all those things. Be careful what you wish for, right? Watch those magic shows. The magic comes at a price. What are you willing to pay for it, right? Let's look at that. When we can bring that on for ourselves, that ritual of joy. We had 14, 15, that's a 16 there. Oh, that's very cool. Oh, I'm going to light it on fire over that. So let's look at that magic, that distance, because we're sending out those thoughts. Everything that we think, right, is going out into that universe, into that collective consciousness or whatever that is. There's stuff that's proven. It's science. It's not just me speaking out my ass over here. This isn't just my humble opinions. The stuff you can look up for yourself. We are all connected. Absolutely. I I'm going to put this integration back up here so that you can see that it's what we're thinking of. Integration, how we're integrating. How has the bits of our life already been integrated? Ooh, did we like everything we went after? Did we want it when we got it? Right, it's looking at those things here. Integrating. Our life is our greatest teacher. Did things happen? It might seem like it was just by magic when we got out of our own way, or when we're following that joy. Because we can learn from joy and we can learn from suffering. It's our choice. Don't we think we've gone through enough suffering? Like, that's where we deceive ourselves if we keep sharing the suffering and think, oh, we got to make it hard, right? I used to think that success is sweeter the harder you have to climb for it, but it doesn't have to be that way. What have we been conditioned to think? We all have human brains. We're all subject to conditioning and to the human brain making connections, matching things up, and getting stuck in those ruts. It's time for us, right? It begins within. We can control what we're thinking, or just become aware of what we're thinking. You know how many thoughts we go through? It's a science. It's a lots and lots of numbers. So, are you aware of every thought you're thinking? What? Whoa. The North card indicates the inner wisdom you may not have recognized in yourself. The North is the place of wisdom and knowing. Therefore, if you're looking outside for the answers, this card gently nudges you into following the animal's lead to find the same wisdom within yourself. Studying this card with the idea of knowing yourself will break any self-deceptions you may have. That's what we need, is going past that self-deceptions. We can only be as honest with ourselves or with others as we are with ourselves. Are you being honest? Or are you trying to say, no, I'm happy with the way this is because I don't want to rock the boat? So you're trying to convince yourself of whatever that might be for you. I don't know. Here's your inner wisdom, though. What? We all have direct connection with the original source. No exceptions. No exceptions, direct connection. We all got one. No exceptions, direct connection. Every single one of us. Look inside. That's where you find it. You find that source of who you are. Inside of you. Your earth and sky connection. How it blends in you. Right? That makes a 9, that makes a 10. 9, 10. We just keep taking these steps. It's one step at a time. We don't get ahead of ourselves. We're not tripping over our feet. We're not knocking anybody else down. We're paying attention to that. But that's the wisdom you have inside of you. You have the full wisdom of the universe inside of you. All of that. One cell of your body contains all the wisdom of the universe. What? Check it out. You can do deep dives back at wisdom, going on those journeys inside your mind. There's a book, Dreams Are More Real Than Bathtubs. Love it. Look inside, and then look back at your life. What has that taught you? Integrate, blend that in. What has it taught you? Look back at your life. Self-reflections. What did you always want to be when you grew up? Are you doing that now? Why? Why not? How are you blocking yourself? How are you holding yourself back? What is it that you're still denying yourself? Now, we don't want to go out with this self-indulgence and, oh, yes, we're going to say yes to everything now because our baby's got nothing, right? We need to find that balance. What is that balance within ourselves, right? Because it's that deception if we're going to go, wow, I'm going to share this misery and this pain because that's what was shared with me. So I'm paying it forward. What is that? What is that? Central card. This card indicates the integration point of all the directional medicines of your personal unconscious. This is the power shield of the true self. This card is a card of knowing the within, the taproot of your personal consciousness. Ooh, warm. Know the true self within. The within and those without can never again deceive you. Know the true self within, and those on the outside can never, and those without can never deceive you again. What? Hayoka, laugh at yourself. That humor the opposites. You believed you didn't have a gift. Oh my goodness. No, it's okay. We're not making fun of it, but we all have a gift. Yes, we do. Yes, so do you. That's the law. Look at Raven and Crow, both of them up here. It's the laws of the universe, the universal laws, not man's laws. Man cannot take away what God has given. Everything that God made is good. However you want to look at that. What have we been taught by our human parents? What is it that spirit teaches us when we connect inside? And laughter is the best medicine. Don't you see spirit up there laughing at us all? Laughing at us. I gave them all this gem. It's deep inside them. They keep going around looking outside for it. It's right there. It's always been with them. Look at that. How many times have you done that in your life? Look at when we're looking frantically for something. We've lost it, and then there it is. It's, as I say, it's always the first place you looked. Right? What about this Murphy's Law? Anything can go wrong will. I have a gavel over there that says, I hereby repeal Murphy's Law. He used to say to my ex, don't you know Murphy's dead? But what you believe in, you will manifest. That's the deceiving. If you don't think your thoughts had anything to do with it, reflect back. Do those deep dives within and see. Again, it's not shame and blame because we're following what was set before us. Right? And what was set before us was not always the best ways. Because these rules and these are set by people wanting to benefit themselves and a few, not all. Look back. Look back. Check all your facts in history. Not just the ones they teach you in school. Not just the books. Look at those ones that have been swept under the rug. The parts that they don't want you to see. What they don't want you to know. Then laugh because we keep repeating it. If it's us voting them in, look at how we keep ourselves restricted. Look at how we keep ourselves repeating. Like there is no more to learn from war. What does it get us? More fighting. Fighting always gets more fighting. You fight fire with fire. Who's going to be there to put it out? Who brings in the water? We need all of the elements. We need every single human being, no exception. If God has put you here, you're meant to be here. And every birth is a miracle. It is a miracle for that sperm to break into that ova, because the ova's whole thing is to keep the sperm out. So you are a miracle, right? And let's keep looking. What are you seeking? What do you keep finding? So, and then are we doing the opposite? Right? I want peace on earth, but I still keep joining up and fighting. I keep going where the fighting is. But yet I want to be part of peace on earth. So how are you doing that? I want to change the cycles, but I'm not going to look inside. I don't want to look inside. I don't want to do deep dives. No, that's a freaking scary. I already lived through it. I don't want to do it again. Well, we don't. We're older now. That baby already went through it. So you're going to leave that baby there, re-experiencing, and as an adult, we're too afraid to go back to rescue that little baby inside? Does that make sense to you? Seeking and finding our gem inside. That's Swan. We can do it with grace and ease. Absolutely. Are we doing it with grace and ease, or are we kicking and screaming? No, don't make me do it. Don't make me live it again. But yet we are. Look at how we deceive ourselves. We're joking. We think this isn't still going on. We think this has all been fixed, or do they just get sneakier with it? I noticed that with my kids. If I told them, well, this is how I found it out. Okay, well, I don't do that anymore. Right? Then they just get sneakier and more clever with it. That doesn't mean it's changed. Doesn't mean it's changed. Let's look at that. We have enough. Oh, so much examples of that in our histories. Right? Do we need to keep repeating what hurts? Continuing to do what hurts. What is not in the best interest of the all, but only a few. And what about in your life? Do you think now your family owes you? Maybe you didn't have a great time in your family. But hey, are you the only one in your family? Right? And every family has dysfunction. Do we deny that? Well, I turned out fine, so then we continue that. I've looked at that and some of the things that I wanted to share with my kids because I thought that was great. That's unhealthy. Kids don't need all those details. But I thought I could convince myself it was because I had all that information. But I got overloaded. It was too much. I was too young to handle a lot of the stuff I was given. Woo! But what's that say about you? That true self. Can you laugh at yourself? We all can. We're all human beings. We can see that true self, that we're all human beings. That's the law. We're all going to experience what every human experiences. Maybe. Well, no, we're going to have little differences. But we need to look at that. Our brains, pretty much, they're there for the same function to, delegate. We have hearts that pump the blood around. So there's certain systems that all work the same, and there's slight differences. But do we expect everybody to work the same as us, right? iPhones and Androids are different, but they're all doing the same thing, really. Right? Again, the way we process that information may be different. So, you know what? That doesn't mean it's bad. Difference is not bad, actually good. It's to have that uniqueness. So where did we start? The East, the whirling spirit card, key to unlocking your spiritual nature, right? Is praying for it, looking to Creator, asking for that clarity of what am I here to do? Finding that quiet time, because it's not going to shout to you. Taking that time of deep reflections to look at what your life has taught you, right? How were you nurtured? What were you raised to do? The fruits of devotion, right? Were you made to think everything is for the family first, right? Yes, we need to think of all. But if we're not putting on our own oxygen mask, we can't help anybody else. So that's why it's so important to do those deep dives, not forsaking all others, but for the sake of all others and yourself, for the sake of peace, for that abundance of peace on earth, in your life, in your home. It all begins within. Peace on earth begins within. Yes, yes, yes. There should be nobody going without, because there is an abundance for everyone. No exceptions. If there's not, then there's somebody taking more than they need. Somebody not sharing. What is that? But as long as we all begin within, that's how we get that peace on earth. That's the key to unlocking those gifts. Nurturing it inside. If it wasn't nurtured by somebody else, it's time for you to nurture that. Find those places. If you're a writer, take that time to write. If there's a class or a workshop to sign up for, nurture that gift inside. Nurture that little. Connect with that little inside. What did you want to be when you grow up? And help them. What does that need? That to guide them towards that, to teach them how to be what they wanted to be. What is that? And then we go down into the self, right? The true feelings. This is the new growth or the seed. The new growth or seed in this spread. Right? Look to this for possible beginnings. What do we have to share? What have we been deceiving ourselves? Dream, envision, wonder. Have you not even looked at that? Oh, I'm not even going to think of that because I'm not here. I can't do what I love because that would be selfish. I can't put on my own oxygen mask when so many others need that. And I get into myself like that too. So then we keep to ourselves. Oh, I'll share all my joys, but I don't want to share my miseries. Right? Sharing your joy multiplies them. Sharing your sorrows lessens them because you see you're not all alone. That's why they seem so heavy, because we feel like we're alone. So the minute we share, we know that we're not alone. We see beyond that deception that it's only me that's ever gone through this. Right? It gets lifted. We are lighter. So share those stories and dream your dreams. Envision that highest vision you have for yourself and then go wander. Go for it, because it's not going to be put in your lap. There is still actions you have to take. Putting it out to the universe and manifesting. It doesn't mean then you just sit here and wait for it to magically appear in your lap, because magic takes some work too. That takes some effort. It's not just doop, dream of genie. It doesn't. That's not the way it really works. It takes work. Everything takes some work. And if you're afraid to work, if you're afraid to step outside that box, what you're going to keep seeing what you're seeing, right? What is that for you? In the West, the dream within the dream may lead you to your real purpose. Study it carefully, right? Now, what brings you joy? It seems magic when you do it, and then you fully immerse yourself in it. Fully immerse yourself in it. The vision quest fulfilled. Only you know. But when you're following, what is that thing that you do that just seems like magic? That, my goodness, I was just doing this for 3 hours and the time has gone by. Besides being flipping through your Facebook, because that can make time go quick too. So, absent-mindedness, but there's still thoughts and everything going on. You're still putting out, say every thought is a prayer. You're still putting that out to the universe. So what is it? Are you letting your thoughts wander all around? Or are we getting control of them and getting that focused? Because it's that focused intention. That's how magic works as well. You have to be clear. Clear in your focus. Clear in your intent. What is it that you want to manifest? What is this magic you're trying to bring into being? And you want to be completely immersed in it. And you need to let those waters settle so you have that clear vision. This also reminds me of the dog. I was just sharing that with my daughter again. The doggy with a nice juicy bone going over the bridge sees a reflection in the water with another dog with a juicy bone. The dog wants that bone too, and loses the bone he got because it was just his reflection. We need to see that when something's, is that just a reflection of us? Are we being selfish because we want something else too, or what we see somebody else has looks better than ours, or we want the best? What is that? What does that say to you? Looking inside, that introspection, the dream within the dream. Because we all want that. We all want to live our best lives possible. And we all can. We can all shine. Even at the same time. Whoa, right? The sky would be awfully dark with just one star. And look at, those stars are still glowing. They're still shining. Even though that bright sunlight or daylight, we cannot see them, but they are still there. They're still there. Woo! North card indicates the inner wisdom you may not have recognized in yourself, right? Your connection to the source. To do those deep, deep dives. Blue heron does not stay on the surface. It goes deep into the mud, deep into that muck. And that's what we need to do, but we don't want to get stuck there. That's where we don't go deep into that muck without source, and source is there with us. But we have to open up. We have to say, yes, please, work through me. Right? Inner wisdom. If you're looking outside for answers, this card gently nudges you to following the animal's lead to find the same wisdom within yourself. Study this card with the idea of knowing yourself will break any self-deceptions you may have. Whoa, I'm taking those two. I don't know if you could see, they just did this little dance and spin up in the air. Wow. That ever-deepening love for yourself, for that purpose, for the earth, for all. Ever-deepening love for all humanity. Every man, woman, and child, no matter race, religion, and creed. That ever-deepening love for the part you play in this. For that honor, being able to share in this, to participate in this world, on this earth, right now, in these times. Right? When we can see, when we put it out there that there's plenty of all, where we start acting from a place of abundance, when we start acting like that beautiful swan that we are instead of trying to fit ourselves into something that we're not because somebody said we needed to, because somebody said we're all different and separate, that some's better than others, so now, we don't want to be part of the lower ones. But we're not. There is no human that is above or below any other. There is no exceptions. No matter your title. No matter your title, there's no exceptions. We all belong here. There's plenty for all. If there's not, it's because some are not sharing. Some are keeping more for themselves and not sharing. So look at that. Are you one of those ones? That you're keeping all for yourself and you're keeping some. I got to keep for a rainy day, and that rainy day never comes and these foods go bad. Right? Have you ever had to go to that food bank and see the food that they give you? It's mostly all the expired stuff. It's not the best. The ones in need aren't getting the best. They get the least. How does that help them? To give them a hand up. It is not fair for all. Do you think that? Do not deceive yourself. Let's have that ever-deepening love that we want to share. And we can't make anybody else. We can go, look at that. See, there's a selfish person. They're not sharing. Right? Because in that, you're so focused on who's not sharing that you're not sharing. What are we doing? Are we spreading around that misery? Misery loves company? What is that? I don't know, but there is plenty for all. We have that ever-deepening love for our source, for ourselves, for who we are, for that little baby inside. Because that baby, whatever that little baby went through, that baby did not deserve it. The baby did not deserve it. Whatever that one of you went through. Right now, we can play victim, or these adults can go, did. I'm older now. I can bring all my colors together, and I can love all of me. Right? Because I know Creator does. If nobody else is going to love me like Creator does, I'm going to love me like Creator does. This is the central card, the integration point of all the directional medicines of your personal unconscious. It is the power shield of the true self. This card of the circle of knowing the within. This is the card of knowing the within. The taproot of personal consciousness. Know the true self, the within. And those without can never fool you again. Okay, and then this one got hooked up on my thumb. And this one did, like, could do a little dance there too. That's the ending of the struggle. 6 of arrows, and then we have that bountiful harvest. It's all inside of you, right? And that struggle, thinking that you don't have a gift here. Let's laugh at ourselves, right? And to think, oh, I got to follow the law. And which law have you made more important? Man's laws or the spiritual laws? What do you count on the most? What has got you through the most? For me, I would not be here without the support of the Spirit, because humans, there has been lots that have supported me. But when it came down to it, right, there's lots that have thrown me under the bus. Okay, and I'm not the only one. This is where we got to end the struggle in the systems we know they are not working. See that bountiful harvest? See, this one's coming in. Everybody comes in. Everybody's giving their gifts. Everybody's sharing from that full cup because they're putting their oxygen mask on first. Right? And they're bringing it and sharing. This isn't putting it in the storehouse for nobody else and keeping it for, or to lock it up and say, you must come to me for it. Right? We need to end that struggle and know, actually, what our survival needs, right? Broken air. We don't need to fight anymore. Peace. Peace. Time for wars is done. Time for divide and conquer, done. It's time to be in divine, you all. Be in divine. Be in the divine. Connect with your source. That's how we end the struggle, because we think it all comes from another man. That man is our source of life. No. Hey, we were birthed through a woman. We were birthed through a woman. Man, back in the old day. Okay, whatever, I'm getting a little carried away. Tops and bottoms over here. 4329. Okay, we're ending that struggle. Once we know that true self, we end that struggle. We won't be fooled by that trickster. Right? That devil card. 15. 15. The teachers. What? Even those that deceived us have been great teachers. What can we learn from that? Right? We believed this guy was going to be there for us, but then he hightailed it off to the city. He got what he wanted and he's out of there. There is so many that are like that. But that's why once we tap into that true self, we won't be deceived again. Well, they might try. That doesn't mean nobody's going to try. But that's why. Because the realization of bondage begets liberation. How we see we got ourselves blocked, that's how we free ourselves. Instead of being captivated by the trickster. Oh, all the flashy, shiny stuff. Here you go. Anything you want. No rules. Have all the candy you want. Whatever that is, right? Sweetest success. But look at. We tap into that wisdom inside. These are all major arcana. Major arcana. And even underneath that one, that balance. We're bringing that balance back in. Look at that. Judgment. We want to be in discernment. Holy. Loaded at the bottom of that deck with those major arcana. See, we tap into that source inside. That's what we need to do, right? Whirling warriors of peace. Whirling rainbow warriors of peace. And then Six of Bowls. Appreciating the days gone by and letting go. Letting go why it happened this way. How to have it happen that way. We can see what are the lessons in that. What did we learn from that? Right? The grandmothers, this was the top card over here. The moon is number 18. We're taking those steps. Wasn't the grandfathers out the other day? I don't know. Intuition, infinity within. It's all within us. Every single one of us. No, 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 no exceptions. Look at, we've all got that gem inside. Bring in that balance. It's discernment. It's no more judgment. We discern. Hey, no more war. Warriors were of peace. It wasn't about the fighting. No more fighting. We don't need to fight to find that gem. It's right there. The more we keep it in the struggle, we can end that struggle. We might think that it's hard. Right? But it was hard for the swan to be a duck. But it wasn't hard for the swan to be a swan. It's not hard to be you, fully, holy, and true. What's hard is not being yourself. Trying to act like you're something else. Trying to fit where you don't belong. Because somebody said, yeah, that's where you belong. Oh, no, you don't know. There's no way you could do this. I know you better than you know yourself. Because I gave birth to you. Because I've known you your whole life. Whatever that is. Woo! We're taken back. We're empowering ourselves. Beautiful people. Find that center. End that struggle. Because, oh, the powers of the universe are within you. And everywhere you look, too. So let's not think we're the only ones. And see everybody else as an ultimate divine being, too. No matter what. We can discern whether we want to be close to them in our lives or not. What is that? But no judge. Okay? We're leveling up to those higher, more energies that are beneficial to all of us. Judgment doesn't help anybody. Discernment. Okay? Right? Integration. Noticing your needs. Taking care of those needs. And then helping others. So all begin within together. Biggest heart hugs ever. Thank you for being you. Shining your light through in everything you do. Be fully, holy you. Or else that world will miss out on that gift that is you. So true. Love you all. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for staying. Thank you for uncovering your gifts. And thank you for sharing your gifts. Because nobody has that gift that is you. So, thank you. Love you. Wonderful, blessed day and week. Woohoo! Thank you. Okay, I'm going to stop it. I got this thing over her. Have a great day. Thank you.